Hi everyone! So if you need any help with your Act 2 notes, I'm going to show you how to do that. So first you're going to go into our class page, English 2, then click Resources. Then I'm going to go to my Macbeth folder. I'm going to go to the folder that says Macbeth Act 2. And then I have a couple different options. I have the Act 2 notes, and then I have right here is the Macbeth Act 2 Scene 2. So I'm going to click on these Act 2 notes, and it looks like, I'm going to make that smaller, there you go. So it looks like I have a couple of different things here I can look at. Here are the notes, here's Act 2 Scene 2. So let's go ahead and we are going to click on this document, and I need to download it so I can type in that, and then I'm going to click Enable Editing. So here is what I'm working with. So I know that I'm either going to pick Macbeth or Lady Macbeth, but I need to see why I'm picking one of those two in a second. So I need to know, how do I know that they need power in order to choose which one I want? So let's go ahead and go back to It's Learning, and we also have Act 2 Scene 2. So let's go ahead and download that as well. And let's look at this together. So just like normally, we are going to be reading the modern text on here. And remember, I need to look for who specifically wants power in Act 2 Scene 2. Modern text. Lady Macbeth enters. The alcohol that got the servants drunk has made me bold. The same liquor that quenched their thirst has fired me up. Listen, quiet. The owl that shrieked with a scary good night, like the bells they ring before they execute people. It's interesting she's saying that since they just executed the king. Macbeth must be killing the king right now. Interesting. So maybe this is something that shows that Macbeth is willing to fight to gain power. So maybe he's who I should pick, but let's keep looking. The doors to Duncan's chamber, Duncan's the king, are open, and the drunk servants make a mockery of their jobs by snoring instead of protecting the king. I put so many drugs in their drinks that you can't tell if they're dead or alive. Macbeth from off stage. Who's there? What is it? Lady Macbeth. Oh no, I'm afraid the servants woke up and the murder didn't happen. For us to attempt murder and not succeed would ruin us. She hears a noise. Listen to that. I put the servants' daggers where Macbeth would find them. He couldn't have missed them. If Duncan hadn't reminded me of my father when I saw him sleeping, I would have killed him myself. Interesting, so she didn't. I am kind of leaning towards maybe Macbeth is the one. Maybe I could use this for text evidence for my Act 2 notes. Okay, let's keep looking. Macbeth enters. My husband. Okay, so it's still Lady Macbeth talking to him. Macbeth. I have done the deed. Did you hear a noise? Lady Macbeth. I heard an owl scream and crickets cry. Didn't you say something? Macbeth. When? Lady Macbeth. Just now. Macbeth. As I came down? Lady Macbeth. Yes. Macbeth. Listen, who's sleeping in the second chamber? Lady Macbeth. Donalbain. Macbeth, looking at his bloody hands. This is a sorry sight. Lady Macbeth, that's a stupid thing to say. Macbeth, one of the servants laughed in his sleep, and one cried murder, and they woke each other up. I stood and listened to them, but then they said their prayers and went back to sleep. Lady Macbeth, Malcolm and Donalbain are asleep in the same room, so it's the king's sons. They're close. So that's interesting. Surprised they didn't get caught. Macbeth. One servant cried, "Bless us," and the other replied, "Amen," as if they had seen my bloody hands. Listening to their frightened voices, I couldn't reply amen when they said, "God bless us." Macbeth. Lady Macbeth. Don't think about it so much. Macbeth. But why couldn't I say amen? I desperately needed God's blessing, but the word amen stuck in my throat. Lady Macbeth. We can't think that way about what we did. If we do, it'll drive us crazy. Macbeth. I thought I heard a voice cry, "Sleep no more." Macbeth is murdering sleep, innocent sleep, sleep that soothes away all of our worries, sleep that puts each day to rest, sleep that relieves the weary laborer and heals hurt minds. Sleep, the main course in life's feast and the most nourishing. Lady Macbeth, what are you talking about? Macbeth. The voice kept crying, "Sleep no more," to everyone in the house. Macbeth has murdered sleep, and therefore Macbeth will sleep no more. Lady Macbeth. Who said that? Why, my worthy lord, you let yourself become weak when you think about things in this cowardly way. Go get some water and wash this bloody evidence from your hands. Why did you carry these daggers out of the room? They have to stay here. Go back and smear the sleeping guards with blood. Macbeth. Can't go back. I'm afraid to think about what I've done. I can't stand to look at it. Maybe I could pick Lady Macbeth. I guess I could pick either of them for my Act 2 notes, because she's saying, she's kind of telling him what to do. Lady Macbeth. Coward, give me the daggers. Dead and sleeping people can't hurt you any more than pictures can. Only children are afraid of scary pictures. If Duncan bleeds, I'll paint the servants' faces with his blood. We must make it seem like they're guilty. Okay. So this could maybe be, I want to say maybe I should pick Lady Macbeth for this scene. This could be text evidence for my Act 2 notes. Okay, so I have an example of both. Now I just need to see who I'm really going to pick. Macbeth, where is the knocking coming from? What's happening to me? That I'm frightened of every noise. Whose hands are these? Ha, they're plucking out my eyes. Will the water in the ocean wash this blood from my hands? No, instead my hands will stain the sea scarlet, turning the green waters red. Lady Macbeth enters. My hands are as red as yours, but I would be ashamed if my heart were as pale and weak. I hear someone knocking at the south entry. Let's go back to our bedroom. A little water will wash away the evidence of our guilt. It's so simple. You've lost your resolve. Listen, there's more knocking. Put on your nightgown in case someone comes and sees that we're awake. Snap out of your daze. Macbeth, rather than have to think about my crime, I'd prefer to be completely unconscious. Wake Duncan with your knocking. I wish you could. Okay, so I have 2 pieces of text evidence, but they're 4 different people. So now I need to figure out which character specifically I would pick. And I think after looking at the whole scene, I might want to pick Lady Macbeth because she's the one that is really leading this. And I think my second text evidence could be right here. I could copy and paste it. Because remember, we cannot use our own words for text evidence. We need to use words from the play. So I want to make a note that says, keep this in mind for my Act 2 notes.